And on the other side, we have DROUGHT. Talk us through those teams.
So, Infused, like you just said, same as Orlando. They've been around for a while. We don't need to talk about them. The DROUGHT, though, we just saw Flux, Batchford, Ramirez, and 2Foxy come in and just absolutely demolish the enemy team. So, looking forward to seeing how they go up against higher tier opposition. I still have Infused to win this one within 3, if not, probably within 4.
Well, let's have a quick look at the series layout for you at home as well to see exactly what game types we're going to have in this 2K final. We're going to start off with some oddball action on the rig. The first time we're going to see that today. Then we're going over to Plaza for some Slayer, then capture the flag on Truth, Strongholds Empire, and finishing it out, if required, the game 5 will be Colosseum Slayer. Gentlemen, anything jumping out to you like a jack in the box?
I think most of those game types, seem to be in Infused favour, I would say, especially with like True CTF and Strongholds and Empire, because we know how good they are on that game type. But that's the question. We'll even go to a game 4. So this will be a real testament to see how good this team really are, because we know with the Soaring squad, it's more of a team where on paper they look fantastic, but in game, the complete polar opposite. But I think this match against Infused, this will be a true test to see exactly how good and how far this dad squad will go.
Yeah, and I think oddball on the rig, game 1, again. Did you?
He said dad
I'm
squad.
not, yeah. You know when you're halfway through and it just leaks in. But anyway, I think oddball the rig as this first game is definitely going to be an advantage for the dad squad. I'm calling it. It's called that. So what are your thoughts on that? Is it a good way to start for them? Obviously with an objective game type that might be slightly, under practice for both sides.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's probably one of the better game types you could have asked for, honestly. Oddball and rig. One of those game types that if you milk accordingly and, try and get as much scrap time as possible, it's very easy to do that on this map. There are certain setups that I'll point out throughout the game where you can do that if you're a less practiced team. So, yeah, probably one of the better game types they could have asked for. Failing that, maybe like a Fathom Flag. We've seen Infused in the past not really doing great on that particular game type. So if not Fathom Flag, yeah, why not rig oddball?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, especially with oddball rig, because due to the fact that, like I said, just like with the Eden ball game type, it's a bit premature, or the setups won't be as correct as they should be, maybe compared to now in a few months' time. But you will see a lot of people with the ball hiding Tower 2, not just from grenades, but with Tower 2, you can see exactly what's going on if someone flanks you from Engine 1 or Engine 2, but also you can go around the back to scrap that extra 10 seconds.
That's very, very true. My lips are on fire, and I hope this game is going to be as well as we move into the first game of our grand final. Oddball on the rig. Let's see how this one plays out. 200 points to win. Look at that skull with its plate on its forehead, looking all shiny in the corner there. Let's start this one off with Flux, though. And again, the rig, pretty much a staple of both of these teams.
Yeah, most certainly. Infused, famous for their strongholds kind of play on this map, but the first 2 slays and the camouflage and sniper going into the hands of Infused. It's Jimbo with the camo, so he can flank around and do Jimbo things. Kimbo has the sniper, he can do Kimbo things. What's interesting about this is the fact that Respectful, the main slayer for the squad, actually has the ball right now. So very versatile kind of team we're looking at right here from Infused, despite being the main slayer. It's Respectful with the ball.
Yeah, but we've got to go back to the last game they played, the Eden game. Respectful was actually top of the charts with the ball again, so obviously he's not afraid to get his hands dirty or clean, depends what condition that oddball is in. But Kimbo's going to be set up here in the bunker with the sniper. They have an almost perfect setup. This is what you want to see. Talk us through the setup a little bit and how a team is basically set up around the map and how maybe to break it.
Well, normally you have someone Engine 2, bunker, just to make sure all the spawns on the back are covered. But you have the ball guy Tower 2, just to make sure that at least, yeah, fair enough, like you can't get it from nades and some other bits and pieces, but it gets a clear view of yellow corner, but also gets a clear view of Engine 1, Engine 2, because that's the problem. If you have the ball guy in bunker, the problem is the fact that with the guy Engine 2, you have to keep dropping back and forth to see if anyone goes through Engine 1 or flanks from white corner. So some of these situations where ball guy, you want him to be the guy grabbing the info, not just someone just holding the ball and looking around trying to look pretty.
Ramirez going to pick up a kill here. They have managed to break through the Infused defenses, of course, here. Infused are the lower seed in this game, and it is Batchford who does get a play on that one. Jimbo picks up a kill. It looks like he has control of that scatter shot. And as we're approaching that 9-minute or so mark, I believe that camo's going to be popping as well, but the lead firmly in the hands of Team Infused. But this is definitely a game type that you can rack up a lot of time.
It goes to show how much Infused really need this 2K to go in their favor, and the fact they are lower seed in this matchup of basically a makeshift team. I mean, we're looking at Batchford, Flux, Ramirez, and 2Foxy. Not sure how long they've been a team. It can't be more than a matter of days. And Infused are still the lower seed in this game. So important they come out with the win in this particular series. starting off with this game mode, it was Jimbo to grab the first camouflage, and guess what? He's got the second one too.
That's definitely going to help break this carbine setup. You can see Batchford here set up back rail around that carbine area. His teammates pushed up to the halfway point on the map, and that is where you want to see him. You want to see him putting the pressure on, and I can see, Harry, you want to jump in here, something you want to say.
Yeah, so talking about, you know, kind of scrap time areas of the map, this is a great area of the map to milk the ball. And basically, Batchford, what he wants to do is just hold the ball as long as possible when his team don't get slays. And then his teammates, when he plays that ball, are already in a position to contest a new ball coming up on the map. So that area of the map, holding the ball back rail, it's not going to get you masses of time, but if the enemy team outslays you, you at least have a chance to make a play on the ball that's coming up on the map in the middle of the map when your teammates finally come off the respawn.
You know what one of the things I love about Oddball is? When people try and play the ball and don't play it. I think it's such a wonderful thing to watch as they just sort of choke and slowly jump off. It's great, but anyway.
I remember a certain Halo 2 play by a ex-caster of ours. What's his name? Eric Hewitt?
No, Fumble Army. That's the one.
Army.
Anyway,
Yeah,
Respectful gets the beat down with the ball. Batchford going to be taken down there. 61 to 32. Still doubling up the score at the moment. Our team in Infuse over their counterparts here. Brandon now just patrolling engine area of the map, laying down some shots, but Foxy comes in to help Flux out and keep him alive. 2 dead now for Infused. There's going to be DROUGHT, who managed to actually get control of the Oddball, I thought, momentarily there, but Kimbo actually shuts that one down. Now he's going to have a 1v1 potentially with Batchford. Batchford actually decides to go E1, but Kimbo has sniffed him out, and he's going to be able to get some nice shots into him. Batchford does pick up the kill though, but Kimbo does trade that one out, and once again we're seeing a scrap and a trading of kills as both teams are trying to get those kills so they can rack up some time.
Yeah, that's why we don't really see the ball being held over at bunker side as much as you do towards the tower, because this kind of thing happens. It gets trapped in this kind of stagnated area where both teams are kind of just having a free-for-all game down there, and everyone's just trying to get as many kills as they possibly can. Wouldn't be surprised to see Infuse try and rotate that ball out of there, in my opinion, because that's not going to be what wins them this game, holding it over in that side of the map. In fact, it's the slays coming in from the DROUGHT, which will allow them to rotate the ball away from that area, but Mose, if he sticks Batchford here, which he does not, that would have been a nice kill to grab.
Come here.
Jimbo did. Hey, why are you rolling away, bro? Jimbo grabbed the 3rd camouflage of the game, so 3 out of 3 camouflages for Jimbo. But he was burned instantly, so a bit of time being racked up here from the DROUGHT.
They're in a perfect position right now, but they've left engine completely open, so Infused have the complete freedom to get over Dad and actually push around and actually try and get through engine 2 and around the actual Whitehall side. But as you can see now, it's not been too bad because they managed to reposition themselves from the yellow corner and from the other side. But at least, you know, from that point on, they managed to throw the ball off from bunker side.
Deep
Hard
breaths.
to get over Dad.
Deep breaths, Harry. Deep breaths.
I can't.
I can't, man. You can't make eye contact with me like that.
Sorry.
Anyway, 4 players here from the DROUGHT. Going to be trapped on the carbine side. This is all time for Team Infuse. You can see it on the player outlines here and the free cam. Jimbo's just going to be milking time towards that bunker. All 4 players alive for Team Infuse. That's going to be a trade. And trades when you have that oddball are absolutely fine because you're going to be in a situation where, as you can see, Jimbo here, trades come in. All he needs to do is play that ball. Plays the ball. 4 dead for Infused. It's going to be interesting to see Batchford set up with this scatter shot if Infuse can get a line of sight on that ball.
Yeah, the problem is they don't get a line of sight off the respawn on that ball because they just died at bunker. So that ball is easily able to be rotated away from Ramirez. He's got the ball. He's still chunking time right here, back rail, and Batchford is just getting slays like he did in that Fathom game #1, and they're creeping back into this game. In the previous series, I think, was Batchford getting all those slays. He got like 27 kills in that last series, don't forget. So Ramirez still with the ball. He can milk this as long as he possibly can. Wouldn't be surprised to see him play it, and the ball does not go off. That's the problem.
My favourite thing to see. Someone trying to play the ball and not get it off the map. Respectful has managed to pick up a sniper rifle, though. 91 to 91, so both teams tied up once again. Oh, narrowly misses that shot there on that player who was respawning on the bunker. Now he's going to push in again. Mose picks up a kill for him, so he's going to be allowed a little bit more room to move on this engine side of the map. Players are popping up in his radar. He doesn't seem too aware. Must have been trying to react to a call out from a teammate there, but a nice grenade is going to take down Ramirez, and I love this. Immediately picking that ball up. Even though he has that sniper rifle, knows you win the game with that opal in your hand. So Respectful, you have to give him props.
So the key thing about this bunker setup here for Team Infused is that they have tower control. We saw Jimbo there briefly on the player outlines. He's just chilling up there on tower 2. It's so important to keep a player up there because that's the only side of bunker you can get the ball off the map if the enemy team get the first couple of slays. So important to control this area of the map, and Batchford knows that too. He will finally go down. Kimbo does have camouflage. That just ran out. He's got scatter shot in his back pocket too. Jimbo's got the new snipe. Everything's going in Infused's way right now, apart from the ball time.
Yeah, I think they kind of just decided there to just pick up slays. They weren't too worried. They realized they had the weaponry advantage when Respectful had that sniper rifle, decided that what we really need to do here, boys, with this lead is just pick up kills. So that's exactly what they did. And now that sniper rifle has been turned over as Baptiste takes out Jimbo. But Kimbo's still on the prowl here with that scatter shot. Time being racked up in the meantime. Finally, that ball is going to be taken out of Infused's hands, but in all that time, we now see around a 50-point lead here for Infused.
Yeah, surprised Kimbo wasn't actually cleaned up right there. That's a priority kill you got to take down, especially if it's a player with a power weapon. You want to take him down, but I suppose it's good that they didn't surrender any slays, and there you go, Ramirez gets taken down because, you know, Kimbo didn't die earlier on.
I think that's the problem with Kimbo as well, is the fact that it wasn't really more him. He couldn't make a decision because his teammates didn't give him enough information to know exactly what was going on. So he thought it's best, instead of running in and dying or getting a trade, just give it a bit more time, an extra 10 seconds for them to actually push and then make a decision from there. But this is an interesting play. I've not actually seen, obviously I've seen the ball go around the outside from here, but not a setup in a way where they hold yellow corner in case they do push over. And as you know with the bunker setup, normally ball guy is in bunker because they don't know if they're coming from engine or yellow corner side. But if they do come from engine side, then normally they will just hold it in bunker until they push across or go tower.
Flux coming under all sorts of pressure, just trying to eke out any time. But this is where in Oddball you see some teams start to get a little bit antsy. They see themselves down by a 30 to 40 second margin. Then they start getting a little bit desperate, focusing too much on that ball guy, getting that ball out of their hands, not picking up the appropriate slays around. And that can just lead to a snowballing effect. That can lead to kills getting traded where they don't need to. And it means that Infused here, all they have to do is essentially pick up these kills, take their time, pick off the guys onto DROUGHT one by one, and they're going to win this game. There's another player alive here, just E1, and that's a clean three dead here. Another player's going to be on the top tower. This should be an easy kill for Kimbo. All dead here, all players coming off the respawn for DROUGHT, and this is going to be more time here for Team Infused.
If I'm Jimbo, I keep this ball over towards the tower side, and yeah, he is actually going to move his ball back over this way because 2Foxy is flanking the bunker, but he's already no shields from 3 players. They allow Ramirez to grab the sniper on the other side. Not a big deal. I mean, they're still getting time throughout all of this, and they don't even seem to be pressured right now. Jimbo's even throwing teammates out there. That's how confident he is in winning this game. But yeah, a very strong setup being put into place right here from Jimbo and Team Infused. Holding this ball tower certainly seems to be the favorable place.
185 to 113. Jimbo, you can see what he's thinking here. He's waiting for callouts from his teammates. You can see Moses actually come off the respawn here towards the barrel. So great camera work here, Harry. As you can see Jimbo now moving towards his teammates. And Moses and Respectful both pick up kills. Now look at the respawns coming in on the bunker. And that's going to be game. That's rotation. That is communication from Team Infused. And they take game number 1 in our grand final. And that play at the end was a beautiful, beautiful thing to watch.
Was very well played from Team Infused throughout that game. 103 seconds from Jimbo. 21 kills and no overkill too. You didn't even see that.
Bad cameraman.
That's a shame. He clipped.
Cameraman? Observer.
Cameraman? I'll take it.
He's doing it all, Wonderboy.
If only we had dedicated observers.
You know,
one day. 14 kills from Bachford, 14 from Flux too. Really nothing of note on the DROUGHT side, but most kills in the game and most ball time too for Jimbo.
And an overkill.
And most damage, almost.
Yeah, they kind of got outside.
Jim.
They got outside mostly towards that end bit, really. It was quite similar until probably at the last third of the game. But what I did like is the fact that they managed to transition into another setup. So when they knew they were going in bunker and they were flanking around and got the kills, they knew they were going to be around carbine. So when they were spawning 2 in bunker and spawning carbine, they were still making sure that White Horse setup was fully intact to make sure Jimbo could delay it at least enough to get that final few seconds on the board.
Yeah, they played it really, really well. And I think you had to look at the desperation that started to come in towards the end from the guys under DROUGHT. And again, these guys have not been playing together too long. You've got to remember, Team Infused have been together for, I mean, almost 6 months now, I imagine it is. 6, 7 months. And,
yeah.
you know, they've all played together for essentially in some formation, the majority of Halo 5. So it's going to be very difficult for them to take this series. But, you know, Oddball has gone in the hands of Team Infused. They've looked strong. Now we are moving on to Plaza Slayer, gentlemen. Thoughts on this one? This is definitely one I believe that the guys in DROUGHT could get back into, but I'm definitely looking at players like Flux and Bachford to have big games here.
They will need to have the games of their lives to take down Infused on this game type, because Infused on Plaza, we've seen them on Strongholds when they're decisive. Very, very strong game type for them, but Plaza Slayer especially, I think is one of their best Slayers, in my opinion. I mean, when you get a player like Kimbo with the sniper, And Infused, like we said, when they're on point with their coordination, so good at prioritizing areas of the map to grab that overshield. If they don't have that posters control, they're already thinking like 2 steps ahead what they're going to do to get round to posters to grab that overshield and contest the enemy team on that area of the map. So that's what I love about Infused on this game type. No doubt we'll be seeing it in this game number 2 of this best of 5.
Yeah, this is why I was quite surprised at the fact that Rush Strong was an Empire as well. That's like the maximum game in terms of like how far it will go. It shouldn't go any more than a 4-game series, but yeah, it is with Infused Plaza Slayer. It is one of their strongest Slayers, so it wouldn't surprise me if they took this as well.
Slayer Plaza is going to be our next game then. 50 kills to win, of course. Sniper rifle going to be so important, as well as that overshield. The overshield, vital for creating pushes. Respawns, of course, every 2 minutes on the map. So looking forward to those coaches keeping a track of that one. We're starting this one off with a man who had a monster game in our game number 1 of the grand finals. It is the newly picked up Jimbo on Team Infused.
Yeah, he's the player that usually will fly at the camouflage and the power-ups for this Team Infused team, but first overshield of the game, not burned. It's actually going to go into the hands of Batchford, and the sniper goes his way too. So this is an absolute brilliant situation to be in. If you are the Drought, a triple right here. He really should get this triple, honestly. He does have Jim pressuring it this entire time. Comes out with the double.
Oh, baby!
Overkill.
Hit it.
Still near
Hit it.
Can he get
it?
Yeah!
A monster! Batchford! That is absolutely disgusting. The man from Scotland with the dirtiest overkill I have seen in a long time.
Xbox record that.
What a final shot that was. The confidence as well. And look at this. He fears no one. Landing no scopes on Respectful now. Bachelor's on a tear.
Can we get some Fs in the chat to pay respects to Team Infused? Because Batchford... that was one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen.
Never forget.
And that's the worst bit as well. 2 of them were going up Cine stairs. So in some reason, the other guy, I don't know who it was the last person, should have easily finished him off. But, you know, Batch right now is absolutely on fire.
He is on fire indeed. 12-7. The difference, the overkill so far. Misses that shot narrowly on Jimbo though. But look at the confidence. It's going to be challenging Respectful. Cleans that kill up. Going to be calling that other player out to his teammate. Jimbo lands a no-scope as well to make Ramirez's job easy. And Batchford is just doing loops of the map at the moment with this sniper rifle in hand. He is just slaying anything in his way.
So Infused right now, they need to chill out. That's exactly what they need to do. They need to just relax.
So do we.
Let's just take a minute and just chill right here. You've got to prioritize pushing out of this area right here. You need to push up to posters and get a hold of that area of the map, the snipe side of the map, ready for that new overshield coming up. Jimbo will survive that grenade. He has about 1 HP left. He will go down. And you can see Mose, again, trying to make money moves over here towards posters because he knows that overshield's coming up, but guess what? It's the Drought with a firm handle on that side of the map. Bashford dropping is a bit of a shame, but no doubt he's got a teammate up there either looking over the overshield or at least in a position to grab it. In fact, it's Bashford in the end to come back upstairs and try and grab it himself, but overshield's still available here on the map. I don't know if Mose knows this.
It's still up. It looks like Moses decided to try and push this one out. Maybe leave it to his teammate. I like what I'm seeing there. You saw Kimbo and Mose pushing up the map. They were obviously aware of the spawn coming in the yard and that tram area and decided to just let Jimbo pick that one up as they put the pressure on. Now we're going to see the flank coming in from Jimbo. Ramirez is going to be in front of him, but somehow he has managed to sneak away Ramirez here. Can he stay alive? He can momentarily, but Too Foxy with the shots now on Batchford. No. Who else picks up a double? That overshield pretty much ineffective here for Infused. Batchford having the game of his life like you asked him to so far, Harry. Sniper rifle coming up in 4 seconds. You can bet he's got his eyes on that one.
Yeah, great awareness here from Too Foxy as well, knowing they're going to be spawning down at Snipe Lift. Knowing that that blue spawn is blocked means that Jimbo is going to be down there. Does take his eyes off of it for a second. Jimbo in a bit of an ego battle right there against Too Foxy. Maybe a bit of revenge for Too Foxy stealing his spot on the Infused lineup. He'll repeat that, but he will get away with his life, will Jimbo. And another bite of the
ego battle.
Jimbo.
Who's going to win it? Oh, Too Foxy wins it. Oh, that was definitely an ego battle. And he turns over the sniper rifle as well. Too Foxy now with that sniper rifle in his hand. Going to be wasting some ammo. And this is something we saw at the Denver Full Finals. Something that definitely has come into Halo 5 more and more as the game has progressed.
Yeah, Optic Gaming, one of the most famous teams for doing that. Just burning the sniper. Knowing that your team is up in this game, why give them a tool to get back in this game? Sniper is pretty much like a guaranteed pick weapon. So you need to make sure that you are burning that sniper like Too Foxy was just then, so that the enemy team doesn't have a chance to use it, like Respectful is trying to right here.
Ooh, Batchford picks up another kill there. Respectful not able to put it to use, but from all the plays we've seen coming out of The Drought, 29-24. This isn't an insurmountable lead by any stretch of the imagination. Bashford picks up another. Mose trades that one out as Kimbo is taken down. A 5-kill deficit. We are moving towards that next overshield as well. Not sure if anyone has eyes on that one. We can move towards that, see if the battle's going on. 2 Foxy's going to be taken down around the overshield as well. Looks like Kimbo is set up top middle. It's going to be Batch who slides in, Ryan Batchelor. And he's going to bag himself the second camo personally of the game. Flux picks up a kill on Kimbo as well, and this is huge.
Ramirez also has a sniper here for the Drought as well. So this is probably, yep, the nail in the coffin. Up by 10 on Plaza. It's such a tough one to come back from. You have Ramirez here with snipe. I think he's out of ammo actually on that one. So you have 2 Foxy with the plasma pistol, so Bashford doesn't have to worry about his overshield getting melted, and that's going to allow him to play more aggressive like he is right here. And Infused, they're just never going to have time to settle on this map anymore, because all the Drought need to do is just push forward and put damage down on anyone trying to make a play.
10-kill deficit, just 12 kills to go for the Drought. Infused, though, we have seen them when their backs against the wall pull out some crazy wins in the past. Mose is going to be in a battle here, and Mose picks up a big double, but Ramirez does trade that out. 39-31. It's now at the point where Infused cannot trade these kills towards the end of the game. They need to get the Drought on some sort of spawn rotation, get a clean 3 or 4 dead, and really take advantage of that if they want to get back into the game. Jimbo set up at the top of the sniper ramp here. Knows there is a player below him. It's going to be Flux. He needs to win this battle. He misses the beatdown again, and Flux is going to actually win that beatdown battle. So that's a huge kill. Jimbo being taken out, because look at that. The sniper rifle is going to be coming up soon. If Flux can stay alive around this sniper area, this could be the game here. But Respectful with a light rifle wins that battle.
Yeah, sniper coming up soon. Very important for both teams to fight over this area. Jimbo is the only man with eyes on it. That's going to be a sniper going into the hands of the Drought. The next objective, if you are on Infused, A, not push out like that when the sniper's just been grabbed, and B, get over to where Batchford is right now. You see Kimbo trying to push forward and contest Batchford at this area, but Overshield's coming up fairly soon. They need some form of map control, whether it be at Blue Door or whether it be over at posters. Right now, Infused don't look like anywhere near grabbing that Overshield.
And the good thing about Batchford as well, he's in the zone, but at the same time, he's not getting overzealous with certain plays and making the right decisions all the time. Because some people, when they're in the zone, they go completely AWOL, which is what he's doing now. But at the same time, he's making the perfect plays, flanking. He's lapped the map at least 10 times now. And the worst thing with Infused, they can't capitalize because they don't know what to do. They don't know what kind of counter strategy to stop someone like him. But yeah, as you can see with Flux of the OS, just pretty much showing him how it's done at the end. So
many awesome plays in that game, and such a terrible battle for us to watch at the end to close it out. But it is going to be... Oh, what a match that was. 20-8. I was just waiting for the stat line. 20-8, and what an overkill. I hope we managed to capture that one in the replays for us to rewatch. But again, a solid all-round team performance there from the guys on the Drought.
I said Bashford needed to have the game of his life, and I
think that was it.
That was pretty darn close. 20-8, overkill for him.
How many power weapon kills did he have?
Nothing else matters in this stat line right here, apart from maybe 4 and 15 from Jimbo, but we won't talk about that. Power weapon kills, you say?
Yeah,
5. Just the 5.
Most of them were headshots as well, weren't they? You know, not too much.
No big deal.
Only player over 2.5k in damage. Look at this. Misses that one. Gets the beat down.
So much composure.
Cleans that one up. Brandon, go to bed! That was disgusting, man. That was just... And that's just started the momentum roll for him. He was just literally just running loops around the map, taking all of these players out. And again, one thing that I've noticed about Batch is his ability to pick up double kills after getting that first kill.
Yeah, absolutely. I think his map rotation with the snipe just in general was absolutely on point. And it's like I said before, he wasn't getting overzealous. He was making sure he was in control now the whole time. And obviously Flux with that lovely little OS play, AFK play from him near the blue stripe.
It's a bit of BM right there.
Sometimes you know, when the match is up, and I think he knew that was in fact the case. So now moving on to game number 3, CTF Fathom. Let's talk a little bit about this one as the series is tied up. We indeed Fathom. Truth.
There you go. Same thing.
It's been a while.
You got Fathom.
Let's have a look at series. Hey, let me try and read again. CTF Truth is going to be the next one up. We saw Infused have some good games on Truth so far, but I mean, you want to talk about capture the flag, you want to talk about Ramirez and 2 Foxy. I mean, after that last game, I think this series has just been blown wide open.
I think so, but at the same time, I honestly feel like the Drought need to take this game 3, because game 4, Strongholds Empire, really strong Infused game type. So if the Drought really want to push this to a game 5 and potentially win and go to that Game 5 Coliseum Slayer, they need to win this one because Empire Stronghold's pretty tough game type to take off Infused.
Yeah, well, I want to see that Game 5 as well, because as you know, Collie Slayer is that coin flip kind of game type depending on the scenario. But, you know, with Batch, the way he's playing with a sniper and that, do you want someone like that to play against in Collie Slayer? No, absolutely not.
It's a very good, it's a very good point.
Of a young Wonder Boy.
Yeah, in a way. In a way. Nah. Anyway, getting into truth, capture the flag. This is game number 3 of our grand finals of the EU 2K. Tied up at 1-1. I think it's only right that we start this one off with Bashford. Come on, let's give the man some love. He just went wild in the last game.
I mean, he's not going to contest the camouflage, so I'll have to keep an eye on exactly what happens with that one. Doesn't seem like anyone's grabbed it at the moment. It's actually Flux who grabbed that one off the start. And 2 fresh slays on Infused. As long as Flux survives here, I've got to say, this is a great result for them because now they're imposing their will on the Infused space, and Flux has the camouflage to play with here. He could take this several different routes. If I'm him, I flank basement right here, but hey, let's see what he does.
Calls it, sees respectful bottom mid now. Actually wins that battle as well, which he should have done. If he would have lost that, that would have been pretty disappointing, but Kimbo cleans up Flux. So defensively, Infused been pretty good so far, but a big kill from 2Foxy, and he unfortunately gets killed by Respectful coming off of the respawn on that carbine side. Bashford, though, sneaking under the base. He's looking for another double kill, puts that player no shields, and Bashford really is not missing a bullet at the moment. He's under the base, jumping up, finds Respectful, takes him down with help from his teammate Ramirez, and immediately now moving that objective. Player P1 here is the important kill. They need to prioritize that kill if they can get him down. Kimbo, though, that's a big kill from him because that is going to allow him to move up and potentially at least start this return.
Wow, how does he get that kill while sitting on the return, too? That's going to make the return easy for Respectful. We'll swap over to Respectful, see what he does coming off of a fresh set of shields. And it's kind of a scrappy game so far, honestly. I mean, we haven't really seen any solid flag runs. We saw Bashford try and run it out the window. That's not going to be a high percentage flag run. Looks like 2Foxy across the map is trying to move a flag of his own. In fact, no, he's in pink too. So there is a player in Infused space right now, and that's preventing Respectful doing what he really wants to do, right? He wants to be moving that flag and getting slays as much as possible. 2Foxy here is the last alive. He's going to go down. That's going to be 4 down. Kimbo's already running the flag. This should be the first flag of the game.
Perfect execution from Team Infused, and this is just exactly what they needed just to get a little bit of confidence back after that last game. I hope they brushed that one off because they certainly needed to. That was a hell of a game from their opposition in the last game. 2Foxy picks up a double though, and it looks like they're trying to potentially force a second flag through the car side of the map, but that is going to be an easy return here for the guys on DROUGHT. 2Foxy going to be taken down. Ramirez, now it's a battle once again for map control and that camouflage. Not sure if anyone did manage to pick that up. With 3 dead here, Infused might be in the position to do some work with that objective.
Yeah, I thought the camouflage should have been up by now. Whether someone grabbed it and it was burned, if I had to guess, it's probably Jimbo with it. I don't want to swap off Respectful's POV right now, though, because he's the man running the flag. He does have pressure from behind. He is going to go down. We'll see if Jimbo does have that camo. He's just making plays happen behind the enemy team, and this is what you want when you're running a flag of your own, because Kimbo now able to put that flag in. Jimbo is still in the base, and they're running another one right here. This is beautiful.
Yeah, this is really worrying right now. It's been 2 really clean caps, and it seems like they're kind of struggling to actually make anything happen or actually capitalize. And it looks like right now what we're doing is every time they're taking it pink, Infused are currently right now actually stopping them from getting to carbine or anywhere near their own carb side every single time. Don't get me wrong, they are getting a few slays here and there, but at the end of the day, you know, if you're not going to get into the actual base and actually throw out and actually make something happen of it, it's going to continue on and possibly 3-0.
Team Infused coming under pressure. Flux trying to take down Jimbo. Jim done a great job there to lay shots down and keep that player alive. Kimbo now going to be battling against Flux. That's a killing spree for Flux as well. Putting shots on every single player from Team Infused, but they managed to finally flush him out of the base and get a little bit more control so that they can all come off the respawn and start pushing back. But look at this. This is the classic Ramirez play here. Pushing through the car side, looking for a cheeky flag pull over towards that car side.
Yeah, unfortunately, Respectful was in basement. He can lift up, and that's 3 fresh slays. Could be 4 right here if they take down Flux, but he will just stay alive, and you'll see teams fighting around this pink side of the map for the foreseeable future because the camouflage coming up fairly soon. That does give the opportunity for carbine flanks as well. You could see a cheeky carbine run if Bashford is told to right here, but it looks like Mose is already in pink 1 ready for that camouflage, so he's in fact going to go through basement right here to cut the players going for that pink one area to try and secure that camouflage. I'd like to play right here, but does he know that there is a player behind him? No, he does not. Kimbo would take him down, and that's a perfect for Kimbo.
Yeah, but Flux has managed to pick up that camouflage. So Batchford, by stalling those players, has allowed his teammate here to pick up the camouflage. They are down by 2. Team Infused, of course, just need one more flag to take us into game number 4 here. The guys under DROUGHT do, of course, need 3 back-to-back consecutive flags now if they want to take this game. Shots coming in. Camo going to be taken out of the game here, and not for the first time we've seen Flux not be too effective with that camouflage. Infused doing a good job of shutting down that power.
Yeah, I think the key in that kind of scenario is Kimbo getting that trade. When we saw him stick the player coming in through window, that's so important, because if you don't take that player down, fair enough, you can make him no shields for a teammate to make a play on him, but Mose has to look at that player that Kimbo traded off if he doesn't trade that kill, if that makes any sense, because, you know, Mose took down the camouflage player in the end. If he doesn't, then he's coming under pressure from Flux, who has the camouflage. You know, it's a whole situation. It was just so important of Kimbo to get that trade, and now Jimbo is doing work here in the enemy base. Respectful's running potentially the 3rd and final flag of the game, and Jimbo knows it, so he's just going to rotate back.
Yeah, Ramirez is the player to watch, but Kimbo are more than wise to that. He's going to jump up into the P-attic now. No players in position. Thrust that one home. It's going to be the game going to Team Infused. They take Truth, capture the flag, 3-0.
A lovely game from Infused.
Lovely game.
It was delightful, wasn't it?
Beautiful. Real pleasure. Real pleasure.
Really quite pleasant. We said that game was a game type that the DROUGHT would probably have to win if they wanted to force a game 5, because the next matchup is the next map up is a very strong one for Infused. Most kills in the game go to Flux, 18 and 10 from him, but
night and day.
From a fantastic performance in game number 2 to a letdown of a performance in game number 3 for Batchford. Just the 5 kills that time round.
Again, another 7-kill deficit.
Game.
Again, another 7-kill difference between the two teams, but Infused with those really clean caps. And you've got to remember, with it, in these kind of scenarios, don't get me wrong, like they will get a few slays here and there, but they became a little bit less coordinated with the DROUGHT squad, because if you saw with Infused, every time they had that kind of scenario where they had the opportunity to cap, they would take advantage of it straight away. But the problem is with Infused is the fact that they can actually spawn trap so much better than the rest of the European teams due to the speed of how they actually look across and actually try and put damage dealt. Because you saw then, Jimbo at one stage at P2 put to 500 to 700 damage down in the space of like 1 minute. So it's kind of those situations where you've got to really take out and actually prioritize what you should kill first in certain positions.
Right, well, moving on to the next game type then. As you say, Stronghold's Empire is going to be potentially the last map of this 2K. But before we get to the last map of the potentially the last map of the 2K, let's talk a little bit more about HCS London, Halo WC London.
Yeah.
Coming up, of course, tickets are on sale at the moment. Get over to gfinity.net, click on that Halo events and get yourself a ticket. We want to see some new teams down here, and of course the FFA pass is available as well for all you lone wolves out there. So let's have a look and see if we can get some more players and more teams down here. We want a full bracket for London. We want to see you all out here representing. Get down for the event. We know you there. But anyway, let's go back to the game. I don't know, man.
What was that?
It was on your list of cool things that young people do.
You looked
Yeah, I looked at your list.
Oh, right. Okay.
But, you know,
cover that one.
Anyway, Stronghold's Empire. Let's talk a bit more
I'll
about
have you stealing my tricks. Empire Strongholds. 2 power-ups to keep track of on this map. Both come up every single 2 minutes. Or every single
2 minutes.
double minutes.
Yeah.
I don't know if that
double
makes
one.
sense, but yeah,
Half
double
of
one.
4 minutes.
Half of 4 minutes. Every half of 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Every 2 minutes, Overshield comes up outside. That's going to be the power play. You're going to more than likely grab a Stronghold if you grab the Overshield if you're not melted by the enemy team. And the camouflage in the tower is more of a kind of passive power-up. You want to be flanking around with that, contesting strongholds and making plays for your teammates to make plays with that particular power-up. So it's going to be interesting to see. Obviously, both sets of players will be playing for both power-ups, but which team prioritizes which, obviously depending on the timings that they have on each power-up going throughout the game.
And it's going to be interesting as well to see how much outside is contested, because some teams, you get some where they contest it all the time and some don't. And both these teams are very aggressive, but, you know, with the coordination of the actual DROUGHT squad, and also you've got with the Infused squad as well. Infused will be a lot more aggressive going on for this Overshield, but not the Overshield, but just outside in general. So you've got to hope to see how it's going to be, because both their playstyles are very different, but also very similar in that aspect.
Here we go then. Game number 4 of the grand final of the 2K. Strongholds on Empire. Team Infused need to win this one to take the title of the second 2K European winners, or Well, DROUGHT send it to a Game 5 Slayer on Coliseum. Let's start this one off with Flux from DROUGHT.
Those nades off the mark, off the start. If you throw those off at that kind of tower thing, the scaffolding outside, I guess you could call it, you can actually make them land on the enemy team's fan. And unfortunately, both nades right there from Flux were off the mark. Not sure who grabbed the camouflage, whether it's Ramirez or Mose over here. We'll swap over to both of them pretty soon. Mose just went down, so if it was him, it's burned, and Ramirez went down too. So no camouflage early on. Jimbo doesn't have to worry about the plasma pistol, because guess what? It's in his possession, so he can really just kind of bait himself right here for his team. Surprised to see no extra Infused members kind of try and back him up right there, and in the end, all the Infused members will go down apart from Respect.
Yeah, it looked like they left Jim to try and maybe fight and delay that
Go on, Jim.
capture of the red base while they actually managed to get control of the blue base. But look at this, how quickly the pit is actually being taken over. They do manage to get the side bases here, Team Infused, but a good push, you have to say, from DROUGHT there to manage to get control of that pit, the most important stronghold on the map. Obviously, it's the most difficult to recapture. And now we're going to see Infused maybe move in and try and make a play on that, but a reset does come in here from Flux, and it's actually going to be the guys on DROUGHT who are in a triple cap situation.
Yeah, very surprised to see them actually retain the pit after kind of sneak capping it after Infused were kind of overextending for bases. Bit of a misplay there from Team Infused. You don't want to be overextending for those side bases. You want to try and retain the pit as much as possible, but again, we don't know the call-outs from Team Infused. We don't know what the communication was in that particular situation, what information they had. So, yeah, very interesting to see actually them retain that pit stronghold, and then, like you said, get that triple cap, get both side bases, and now Infused. They're kind of on the back foot, and in 20 or so seconds' time, those power-ups are going to be coming up. So very important for both teams to control both the tower and the turbine. Kind of forget about the stronghold in this moment of time, and boy, does Mose have hops. Oh, my lord.
I was literally just about to save him as well, with Flux and Batch having great outside control, putting him in red whilst having to force him to go tower and courtyard side, but somehow we managed to topple him anyway, get a few shots in, and actually managed to get that lucky beat down on him. So it was really good play, and sort of managed to actually get outshot at one stage.
Batchford still hitting shots, didn't have the greatest performance in that last game, but the overshield is actually in the hands of Flux, I believe. Jimbo now, he's going to have the camo in his hand, so a trade of power-ups by the looks of things between the two teams. Jimbo now going to be protecting that stronghold pit, and his teammate is going to be capping that red base. So now, Team Infused look like they're going to let that one go. Look to pick up these slays. Jimbo here, oh, he's got a decision to make. All these players are going to run past him. Jimbo can have a field day here. Lands one, lands a beat down on a second. That's a double for Jimbo. Flux is no shields on the turbine as well. Triple for Jimbo. Perfectly played with that camouflage.
Unbelievable patience. And that is the X factor that this man brings to this team. You just don't get with any other player, and he's still making plays with camo. This is insane. Another one goes for a ninja almost. This man is just off his rocker right now. What a camouflage play from Jimbo.
Fantastic plays from Jim, showing them exactly what they missed last weekend. Huge play with that camo. Such fantastic, instantaneous decision-making as 2Foxy takes down Mose there, 22-39. Team Infused are racking up points, respectful with the kill there on 2Foxy, but Flux does trade it out. Now we're going to see the guys from DROUGHT in the pit. It's going to be contested momentarily. It's up to Mose here to get this kill if he can get it. Batchford's going to come in here. 2 players on his radar, though. He's going to be taken down. That's going to be the reset here for Team Infused. 2 down for DROUGHT, and that's going to be a hold on the map here for Infused.
Yeah, a hold which gets them a pretty healthy lead. 25 points now. As momentarily, the DROUGHT, they will be having the scoring advantage, but guess what? The blue base has been traded out by Infused, and again, Jimbo being so sneaky. 2 players have gotten through, and even if they push onto blue right there, they still have to worry about Jimbo flanking them from behind. So it's so important. These little plays that Jimbo does. We'll take down Ramirez there too. And just as Overshield's coming up, this could be, honestly, the nail in the coffin right here. He knows it. Look at him. Hey, I got your Overshield. Guess what? It's in my chest. Bye-bye.
One thing I've been so impressed about with Jim is it seems to have worked out that the team play strategy isn't so much taking angles here from DROUGHT. It's the 3-man push towards Turbine. The second time he shut it down almost by himself. Burst time with the aid of that camo. Jimbo's on fire at the moment. 64 points on the board. A triple cap in effect. And he is making so little mistakes. He is making all the right plays. Him and his team, Infused are rolling right now. This is difficult for DROUGHT to get back.
I mean, not gonna lie, Jim, probably shouldn't be shooting bodies when you almost died with overshield to the player, but I'll let you off. I mean, you know,
Hey, he won the battle, man.
It was
It's all
the
good.
dude who got dropped for you last week. No, who you got dropped for last week.
Well, this is the problem now. It's the fact that, yeah, Jimbo's had every camo, overshield. His power control is absolutely insane right now. But at this moment in stage, they can't get too cocky because it's one of those game types where if they get in play, they get 2 points on the board, potentially 3, then it could go the complete opposite way around. But as you know, this is one of their best game types. And now we're 3 down, with only 23 points on the board left. They need to do something now, or else it will just end right here, right now.
Yeah, this needs to change around very quickly for DROUGHT. Mose is going to be challenging Bashford. Bashford gets taken down by Mose as well.
Oh.
Mose somehow kills 2Foxy as well, and he's letting him know, just extending those hamstrings into the face of 2Foxy. Mose now taking down Ramirez. But in the meantime, while all these kills have been going down, look at the control on the map. Somehow, once again, DROUGHT have managed to get control of that pit stronghold, and now they're pushing on that blue base.
Yeah, Kimbo will take down Flux, and considering he was the only one in there capping blue, that's actually a pretty good trade, honestly. A 2v1 across the map. Jimbo is still trying to grab the pit, and he will get the kill there on Ramirez. Jimbo playing out of his mind this game.
It's a clean
3
sweep.
slays from Infused. Like you say, Mark, a clean sweep. Last player alive. Jimbo already knows where he is. Bashford surely will go down. He will get one, and the reset. That's curious there from Infused. They really should not have let that happen, and now they have to worry about the pit because of the fresh respawners from the DROUGHT. Luckily, they will clear this one out pretty easily, but very interesting to see them actually be patient on that blue base right there.
Yeah, they're going to get the overshield. This is pretty much game. We've seen so many power-ups go into the hands of Team Infused. They're just racking up kills at this point. 92 to 32. Pushing onto this base. There's only 2 players alive here. Make that 1 player as Jimbo takes down Ramirez here. They're going for the triple cap. They're going for the jugular right now. They want to finish this game as quickly as possible. Team Infused are rolling right now. They're taking their crown back as the Kings of Europe. They win the 2nd EU 2K of the season.
Yeah, that was just fantastic play in general. Like, you know, so far what we see from Jimmy is the fact that he's always getting every overshield, every camo, and obviously him and Havoc work really well together in terms of how they should plan out every single attack when it comes to getting all these power-ups. But wow, the slays from this team.
Young Jimothy.
Impressive. 6
Jimothy.
and 8. A +8 spread with those 15 assists as well. I want to check out the damage dealt here from Team Infused.
Wow.
Jimbo, top of the charts. Beautiful stuff from Jim. And what a way to solidify the 2K crown.
Team Infused are back, baby.
Did they ever leave? I mean, yeah, they did last week.
Temporarily.
We won't talk about last week. Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. They're back. That's all that people need to know.
You know, let Vex win one, make things seem a little bit interesting.
They're back with what I feel like a little bit of what's the way to put
Pizzazz.
it? A revived vigor about
okay.
them. They
I prefer pizzazz.
Pizzazz? Pizzazz is good. Yeah, they seem to have a little bit more drive about them than they did before. Sometimes you got to make mistakes to get things right, but these are the replays from that last game. I hope we caught this. Oh, this play from Jimbo. So sneaky with the camo. Landing beatdowns, landing shots off, taking down 3 players pretty much on his own there with that camouflage, and just carried on making plays for the rest of the game.
Yeah, that was literally the Jimbo show throughout outside control. I always said, like, some teams contest it all the time, some of them don't. But obviously it's very important to make sure you can contest it at all times. But Jimbo was literally outside all the time, not just getting the overshield, but just making sure no one's coming through sneaky or anything like that at all. So, you know, it wasn't just power control, it's just outside control in general, making sure no one's coming through sneaky side, or after they got a cap, they knew they'd come out straight away. But Flux and Bashford did have their little moments controlling it, but sadly, they just kept getting outshot by the whole of Infused.
Yeah, very, very true. Now, let's have a little bit of a talk about that squad that just went down to Team Infused. Let's have a look map by map. What's the potential like for this squad? What do you think that their bar is, or do you think it's very early days for them to have a look at?
I would like to see this team go up against Vexty Blair.
I was going to say that.
Depending on how the pro points situation kind of go down after this 2K, it's going to be interesting to see the bracket next week for next week's 2K. Seeing if Vex do match up against this team. It's going to be... I honestly can't call it between these two teams. I think these two lineups are very evenly matched, and Vex definitely have the practice on their side. Dad, as we're calling them, the Drought, I think they have a lot of upside. There's a lot of potential on this team.
Yeah, I think with Vex as well, is the fact that Vex are quite consistent in how they're playing, but with this other squad as well, it makes you wonder, like, we could say they're the kind of team where they'll have their good days and bad days, but you've got to remember, it's only been a few days. Vex have been together for a while. Obviously, they've only made one lineup change, but this is a completely new lineup. So, but it's nice that the chemistry's there, and they could beat really good teams, which are on paper.
Well, let's have a quick look at the bracket and see exactly what happened in the 2K today to see exactly how the teams fell and exactly what went on exactly.
A cool name for like a newspaper.
What, the
2K
bracket?
today.
2K today. I like it. Well, let's have a look. Vexed eBuyer took down Skitlight in the quarterfinals 3-0. Infused another 3-0 over Mocket Esports there, soaring 3-0 over those guys. And then Germania got taken down 3-0 by DROUGHT. Semi-finals, Infused answering back against Vexed. Of course, Vexed won that week 1 2K. Infused taking them down 3-1. And then on the other side of the bracket, DROUGHT took down Soaring 3-0. And in